A pretrial hearing in the George Zimmerman case is underway in the Florida courtroom right now. A judge is listening to testimony from voice experts. She's trying to determine if their analysis of a 911 call from the day of the shooting should be admitted as evidence. Yesterday, the prosecution presented two experts. Today, it's the defense's turn to call its own witnesses. George Zimmerman has pleaded not guilty to the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. He claims self-defense. The trial begins with jury selection on Monday. NBC's Ron Mott joins us live now from Sanford, Florida. Good day to you, Ron.
Hey, Richard, good day to you. And just as you were coming to me, they have just taken a break in court. So the second of an expected three witnesses for the defense has now come off the stand by the name of George Doddington. Now, he's an electrical engineer. Earlier, they had a voice expert on, but George Doddington is questioning some of the science that the state's witnesses were using to say that they could not only identify a voice on that 911 call as Trayvon Martin, but also that you could hear words and make out words. Earlier this morning, one of the defense witnesses basically said it was absurd to make the conclusions that the state's experts made on the stand yesterday. Take a listen and see what he had to say this morning.
My view in this case is that that recording isn't even remotely suitable for speaker comparison purposes. If it had been submitted to my lab just for that by a prosecution agency, it wouldn't have even got to first base.
Now, what the state's witnesses are saying is that you can make out, once you pull out of that 911 call the caller's voice and the dispatcher's voice, you can then isolate some of the screams that you hear and compare those to George Zimmerman's voice taken from the reenactment that he did and compare them. Basically, what they did, Richard, is they took George Zimmerman's voice, ran it electronically into the frequency range of the screams on the 911 call, and the one expert for the state said it is clearly not George Zimmerman. He did not say definitively that it's Trayvon Martin. What he said rather conclusively was that it was not George Zimmerman. The second state's witness, perhaps the one who made the most declarative conclusions in the case, says that not only is it Trayvon Martin, but you could hear him saying things like, "I'm begging you," and stop right before the gunshot is heard on that tape. So obviously there's some contention here between both sides. The judge is expected to hear one more witness on this matter, and then perhaps we'll make a ruling on whether the voice expert testimony will be allowed in. She's also expected to hear a defense motion that they would like the state to be banned from using certain words with regard to George Zimmerman, things like profile, vigilante, wannabe cop. He confronted Trayvon Martin. They want the defense wants the state barred from using those phrases before the jury.
On our ongoing coverage. All right, thank you. Ron Mott on the George Zimmerman trial. Okay. Appreciate that. A note on this story, George Zimmerman has sued NBC Universal, the parent company of this network, for defamation. The company has strongly denied